Well, bonjour, everybody. I'm Peggy Flanagan. It might be hard to tell under this mask, but I'm Peggy Flanagan. I am your Lieutenant Governor, and I'm really, really excited to be here with all of you today at UW-Hills. I don't know about you, but the last week has felt like a lifetime, and the last 24 hours have felt like a year, and I am ready to turn my anxiety, but also optimism, into action. How about you? You know, and the other thing that we can do is make sure that we are voting. And election day is now. We say that you need to vote by November 3rd, but the good news in Minnesota is that election day started on September 18th. So that's right. So you can vote early, you can vote by mail, you could vote the day of, but here's the deal. I want to get those votes for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in the bank so that I can spend more time calling folks and turning out the votes with people in my family, my friends, my neighbors, everybody across the state of Minnesota. So let's vote early and then make sure we are hustling to get out the vote for the rest of the electoral season. We know that right now we have a very, very important election. And we hear this every year, right? We hear, it's the most important election of our time. It is for realsies this time, everybody. It has never been more clear that we have a very important choice between fear and division, or hope and optimism. I am ready to vote for folks up and down the ballot who see the full potential in us. And that's right. And here's the deal. You know who's going to get it done? Women. That's right. It is women who are going to get it done. Right now, we have Speaker Melissa Hortman. And there she is. And I am ready to make sure that we protect the legislature, we protect the House DFL, and that we absolutely get ready to have Senate Majority Leader Kent. I want 2 women in charge of the House and the Senate. And we know that we can get that done. And the victory runs right through all of the women who are running for the House and Senate, many of them who are here. So shout out to you. Let's make sure that we get these women elected. And I want to tell you one quick story before I introduce the next amazing woman who's about to speak. Because we are here with Women for Biden, when I knew that Joe Biden was going to be our nominee, I decided that I would do whatever it would take to get him elected. There are 7 people on this planet who know my story of being a survivor and a child witness. Joe Biden is one of those people. When David Wellstone and I traveled to the residence to celebrate the Sheila Wellstone Award many years ago, we had some time in your dining room where I was able to share my story with Vice President Biden. He gave me a hug and he said, "I see you and it's okay." And I haven't ever told that story publicly before, but today here with Dr. Jill Biden and with all of you, it felt like the safe place and the right place to tell this story. Because we have the opportunity to send someone who will see us, who will value us, and who will protect us in Vice President Biden. And that is why I am going to do everything I can in the next 31 days to ensure that we elect him and that we have an incredible First Lady in Dr. Jill Biden, who are also in the White House. Now we have another champion who is with us, who is, well, she had some big chucks to fill. We have an incredible United States Senator in Senator Tina Smith. Everyone here, that's right. Everyone here has a story about Tina, a story about how she saw them. I have to tell you, when I first decided to run for lieutenant governor, it wasn't until I had a conversation with Senator Smith. And I said, there's this crazy idea, what do you think? And she said, I'm going to put on a pot of coffee, come on over, we're going to talk about it. And by the end, I was convinced that I could do it because Tina saw something in me. And she sees something in all of us. And that is what she fights for every single day. She's been a champion for working people. She's been a champion for folks who need access to health care. And just personally, you know, as a Native woman, her work on the Indian Affairs Committee, in many ways, she has continued the work of the late Senator Paul Wellstone. And she has been a tremendous leader for Minnesotans. And if you didn't hear, the other day she debated her opponent, she ate his lunch. And she did so politely and with class because she is the Velvet Hammer. So ladies, please put your hands together for our incredible United States Senator, Tina Smith.
Very good.
Yes, there you go.
Good. Hello, Minnesota. How are you? I am so excited to be here with Women for Biden. Now, it is 31 days out from Election Day, and has election already started? Yes. Consider this. If you wonder, Dr. Biden, if you wonder whether we have energy and enthusiasm in organizing in Minnesota, 1.4 million Americans have requested an absentee ballot, and over 300,000 of those ballots have already been returned, have already been banked, as Peggy said. I am so excited to be here with Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, my dear friend, and with Dr. Jill Biden. And, you know, here we are, 31 days out. We are in the midst of a global pandemic that is shaking the foundations of our sense of health and economic well-being. We are saddened, so saddened by the loss of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who fought for all of us, who imagined a world where there could be true equity and equality between men and women. And then she didn't just imagine it, she made it happen. And to lose her in this moment feels like such a blow. And here in our state that we love so much, we are also in the midst of a reckoning around racial justice that is so long overdue. And here we have it, this moment. And it feels so personal to people. I mean, it is our lives, our children, our health, the businesses that we've built. It's so personal in this moment. And I know women. Women wake up every day trying to figure out how to make their lives work for themselves and their families, how to pull it all together every day. And there's a lot of burden on our shoulders, right? There is so much that we have to figure out every single day. And we know in this moment, we know what is at stake for ourselves and our families and our children. We know that our health care is at stake. We know that our reproductive lives and choices are at stake. We know that our our jobs and our economy is at stake. What are we going to do to make sure that we have the economic opportunities that we want so much? That is everything that is at stake in this election. So I want you all to know what you already know. Women, our voices are strong, but only if we use them. Are you ready to use your voice in this election? Are you ready to use your voices? I mean, remember the March for Women's Lives on the Sunday after the election that happened the last time. Remember the number of women who have stepped up to run and be candidates. And think of the women that are voting right now. Right now, they're voting in Minnesota. They're doing everything they can to make their voices heard. And think about what they have, what we all have to vote for in Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We have the opportunity to vote for people who, as Peggy says, who see us, who bring a focus on results and wanting to accomplish things for people, who understand that this isn't about them, it is about us. People who bring decency and kindness and strength and empathy to this election and to our country, and that is what we need in this moment. This Senate seat that I hold, which is, I want you to know, I am hell-bent to win this Senate seat. I'm hell-bent to win it. And these legislative races up and down the ballot are all at stake. And so that is where all of you come in. Now, I want you all to know, I know you're worried. We're all a little worried. Worry is not a strategy. Organizing is a strategy. Voting is a strategy. Are you ready to go and vote and organize and volunteer and do what we need to do these next 30 days? So am I. So am I. Now, I want you to just think a minute about what we know as women in our lives, what it's like to try to wear so many hats. We have so much stuff. We have so much stuff to do every day. And I think about Dr. Jill Biden, who is like a lot of us. She wears a lot of hats. She has a lot of jobs. She is an educator. She is a mom and a grandmother. She is a partner to our next president of the United States, Joe Biden. Joe says that we are in a battle for the soul of our nation, and I believe that to be true. And I cannot imagine another better person to be by his side, to be standing there with him as his partner, his family, his everything, than Dr. Jill Biden. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jill Biden.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. No, that's fine.
We're totally cool with the
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, thank you, Senator Smith. And Tina, you know, your work ensuring Minnesotans have equal access to health care is always critical. But in this pandemic, and especially and so many more Americans contract this virus and become people who now have pre-existing conditions, it's never been more important. So Joe and I are so grateful for your support and for your work, and we're so grateful to have you on our team, so thank you. And I can't turn the pages with my gloves. It's a new one, first time wearing gloves this season. And Lieutenant Governor Flanagan, you know, thank you for being here with us. And your dedication to education and health and economic opportunities for all Minnesotans is what leadership is all about. And thank you to Maggie and Esther for providing such a warm welcome. And thank you for all the women here who are with us today, who are courageously running for office. And what an inspiration you have in Senator Klobuchar. And she has not only fought tirelessly for this state, she's once again showed us that women belong on every debate stage and in every level of leadership. So, hello, Minneapolis. And I have to say, I love your hula hoops. That's the first time I've seen that, but what a great idea. So before I start, I want to just begin by sending my thoughts and prayers for the health and the safety of the President and the First Lady after they tested positive for COVID-19. And you know, this isn't a matter of politics. It's about health and it's about respect. And Joe and I pray that they will make a quick and full recovery. So over these last few months, I've been talking to communities about school reopenings. And a few weeks ago, I spoke to a school counselor who told me something that I won't forget. And she said that the two most important roles in my life are being a school counselor and a mom. And right now, she said, I feel like I'm failing at both. You know, as a parent, you want to have all the answers for your kids. But over these last 4 years, so many parents have told me that they have many more questions than answers. For instance, you know, how do I keep my family safe from this pandemic? What if a shooting happens at our school? What if I lose my job? And how do I tell my kids to be kind when our leaders don't live up to that same standard? It's not just the parents who feel it, all of us feel it. The chaos of this moment, the magnitude of the loss that surrounds us. Still, we keep going, don't we? You know, we keep helping our neighbors and showing up for each other. We keep hoping for the better. What else can we do? Joe and I know that feeling well. 4 days after our son Bo's funeral, I watched Joe shave and put on his suit. I saw himself steel himself in the mirror, take a breath, put his shoulders back, and walk out into a world empty of our son. He went back to work. That's just who he is. There are times when I couldn't even imagine how he did it, how he put one foot in front of the other and kept going. But I've always understood why he did it. He did it for the daughter who pays for her mom's breast cancer screening and misses work to drive her mom to the clinic. He did it for the community college student who has faced homelessness and survived abuse, but finds the grit to finish her college degree. For the little boy whose mom is serving as a Marine in Iraq, who puts on a brave face for their video call and doesn't complain when the only thing he wants for his birthday is to be with his mom. He does it for you. He does it for us. Joe has spent his entire career listening and bringing people together. He will be a president for all Americans, and he has a plan for all Americans. He has a plan to end this pandemic, to rebuild, to reimagine a future that's better than ever. But he can't do it without you. Over these last few years, Joe has faced unimaginable tragedies. And through it all, he learned how to heal a broken family. It's the same way that you heal a nation, with love and understanding, with small acts of kindness, with bravery, with unwavering faith. Right now, there are so many who want to tell us that our nation is hopelessly divided, that our differences are irreconcilable, that our communities are fractured beyond repair. And beneath that is another message. Your voice can't fix it. Your vote doesn't matter. But that's not who we are, is it, Minneapolis? In the face of this chaos, we're coming together and we're holding on to one another. We're finding mercy and grace in the moments that we might once have taken for granted. We're seeing that our differences are precious and our similarities are infinite. Democrat and Republican, urban and rural, north and south, and coast to coast, our communities are showing us that the heart of this nation still beats with kindness and courage. We don't agree on everything, and we really don't have to. We can still love and respect one another. We care more about people than politics. And we know we're not broken. We're just becoming something new. Cynics play to our fears. They tell us that we can't make a difference because they don't want us to try. They know that together, our voices are more powerful than they ever could be. So we have to show them our power, especially women. Because as Tina said, we take care of our communities. We know how to organize, and we win elections. We're going to send Senator Smith back to Washington, and we're going to send Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the White House. This is our moment. We have to show them that we are not going to sit by and watch what happens. We're going to decide what happens by voting today. Early voting has started here, so you don't have to wait until November to cast your ballot. You can find everything you need to know at iwillvote.com. Make a plan to vote early and help your friends and family make one as well. Because this is it. There are no do-overs. In this election, we have to believe that our communities are stronger than the challenges we face, because they are. We have to believe our votes matter, because they do. We have to show up right now, put our shoulders back, and fight and work like we've never worked before. So, as Tina said, will you join us? Will you prove the cynics wrong? Will you help us show that our nation will never settle for less than our highest aspirations? So will you stand with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? Because when you do, I know that we will win. So I want to end by saying thank you. Thank you for all that you do for your communities. Thank you for showing up now when it matters the most. And thank you to everyone for your faith in an idea that's bigger than any one of us. And that is that we will build a better nation, because women are going to do this together. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks.